This is the last call, fantasy football.
That it is.
Our Monday edition of a Thanksgiving week recap. We didn't do a Thursday show, obviously. Thanksgiving. Me and Justin had a long, fun. Well, I guess we wouldn't have a long, fun weekend. We had a fun Saturday.
Yeah.
I went up to Tally for the FSU UF game. Didn't go the way we wanted, but we knew it wasn't
Eh,
going to. So
we had fun
we had
watching them
fun.
lose.
We had fun watching them lose. We drank a lot of these. So today is I'm not that I'm not looking forward to the first sip, but and this was 2 days
I'm
ago.
scared.
We're getting too old for this, man. We
Yeah.
really are. Because I used to tell him, I never understood how people got hungover. I felt fine. Maybe a little slow start to the morning, but didn't feel terrible. I had the trifecta. I had the nauseousness, the headache, and the sun was like the devil staring
Yeah.
into my eyes. Like everything was so bright, and I just felt like a degenerate laying in the back seat of the car as we're on our way back down from Tallahassee, sunglasses on, just sitting there.
Fucking the hair on your skin is like tingling.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Surprisingly, I got away with no nausea, which is like usually all I get. I usually don't get
Yeah,
headaches or anything like that. It's usually nausea, but somehow I wasn't really nauseous.
I know, but traffic was god awful. Everyone knows after Thanksgiving, that Sunday after Thanksgiving is the busiest travel day of the year.
Yeah.
People they have a whole weekend or the whole long weekend. They're off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever, and finish out the week. But it was terrible. It took me forever to get home, so I was able just to catch the games on my phone. So that was cool. Even though I don't know if you've ever tried to watch football on the highway or you know, on the interstate
Yeah.
driving fast.
Especially on I-10, like it'll buffer and
But the
stuff.
service
So
sucks. That's the whole thing. It's like I'm
yeah.
constantly reopening and closing my YouTube TV
Especially
app.
yeah, at least you have YouTube TV. Like for whatever reason, if you're on like Stream East, you almost need like perfect service.
Yeah,
Like you can't get away with even just like
yeah.
mid
It's
service.
just
It's got to be perfect.
I know. So and
So
I was like I'm being a greedy bastard. I had the quad box on my phone, and so it's like,
nice.
and so I'm sure it was like buffering because it's trying to load 4 streams at one time. So I don't know. I was able to get some games in, and we didn't do a preview show on Thursday or this past week, so we don't have anything to recap other than just for us to chat about what happened because we didn't give our poorly advised takes on this show last week. So we're
And we were 3
winners.
0 last week.
We're winners, baby. And
Yeah.
um, I'm excited for my game tonight. We'll do a little Monday Night Football
Crap.
recap, even though this episode will be out after the game's over. So when Denver is 8-5 and moving up in the playoff rankings, you guys can come talk to me.
Come on.
You
Ceremonial sip.
you just took a sip, didn't you?
Well, I wasn't looking at you. I thought when I cracked it, you would sip too, but.
I'm in the middle of a sentence, bro. You're just the worst. All right, cheers. Let's get this thing going.
Wasn't too bad.
Nope. We're young again. I feel great.
I'm getting fucking hammered
Let's get fucked up. All right. So
All right.
So we had some football. I am finishing the week with a dub. So is Justin. Justin, did you break
Dude.
the record?
No.
No?
Dude, so what was it? The Texans defense, they let me down. They had like almost 20 points. And I guess
Oh,
just like garbage time, they just let the team back in.
yeah.
And it went from me breaking the record this week to
Damn.
missing it by like 5 points.
Yeah. So Justin's team, did you have a bust? No, you did. You had one person bust too, right?
No, nobody. Honestly, nobody really even went off. It was
I thought
just
you had.
every single player on my team did really good.
Well, you had Rico Dowdle get 20 plus. You had Brock Bowers get you 20 plus. You had Jaden Daniels, who right now is the QB2 on the week.
Yeah, 33.
Um,
He screwed me too with the interception. Got 2 points taken off.
oh,
But,
but
obviously, I was just being greedy this week.
yeah,
I just wanted to really break that. Well, I thought I was projected at one point 180 points. So I was
That's
like,
wild.
dude, I'm gonna break the record by a lot. Um, but whatever.
Yeah, and I'm gonna win. I had a good outing. No one. I was gonna tell you. I don't know if you saw, but no one on my team busted at all. The lowest score on my team was Trey McBride with 96 yards. That man is just allergic to the goddamn end zone, bro. He,
Well, they got a James Conner problem
no, he has
and a
a,
Kyler Murray.
but he has a million receptions like that to not have a touchdown is absolutely wild. He
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm saying in the red zone, they don't use them.
No, they do. They just can't connect. It's fucking infuriating. I've never seen Trey McBride so a tight end, a player so wide open, and watching Kyler Murray throw it 9 yards over his head. It's
I
like,
feel that Brock Bowers has only scored like twice as well. It's like he gets me like
no.
90 to 100 yards each game, but he just doesn't really score.
Well, I mean, Trey McBride's the QB or tight end 4, and Brock Bowers is the QB 2, or Jesus, the tight end 2. And I know I'm curious because now I need to know how many touchdowns Brock Bowers has had. Because the tight end, why
Can't
do
be
I keep
more
saying
than
QB1? The tight end one is George Kittle, and that's on the back of a bajillion touchdowns.
touchdowns.
So I know I need to pull this
I,
up real quick.
I think he's
Um,
only at 2, but I'm looking right
he
now.
has 4.
Oh, he's at 4. Okay.
So
Still though, out of 13 weeks, tight end 2. I mean,
yeah, actually now I'm showing in our league he's the tight end 1 after the stinker that George Kittle had. George Kittle had 1.2 points, but that game last night was just dumb. It was just dumb. I thought I
I
liked the
honestly
snow
think Brock
game.
Bowers should end as the one.
Wait, what?
I think Brock Bowers will probably end up as the one at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think it's the only person that really can catch him. I mean, I guess there's a few weeks left, and the multi-touchdown game can get you closer. But it's George Kittle. He's only up 5 total points on George Kittle, and then it's Jonnu Smith who's 18 points behind. So, and
Smith is
Trey
kind of the
McBride's
real deal this year.
2 points behind that as well. So there's um, there's a very good chance. I would bet that Brock Bowers finishes as the tight end 1, just based on the lead
Yeah.
that he has. But uh, what else happened? What else happened?
Well, Christian McCaffrey is officially dead.
Yeah.
Honestly, I sadly I think this might be the end of Christian McCaffrey. Okay. I will say though, he was when you said that he didn't play for 3 minutes, I was like, that's bullshit. He had 52 yards. And I went back and I was like, no, he did go out in the first quarter.
One run.
I think he was on his way to being like primetime Christian McCaffrey. So,
Did you watch the game?
no.
Bro, okay, I'll tell you. So this is what happened. I cut it off shortly in the middle of the third quarter because I'm like, this is stupid. I thought I liked snow games. I don't know what the difference between this snow game last night with the Niners and Bills versus the snow game with Cleveland and the Steelers.
It's because you have two offenses that you want to watch play
No.
football.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
The game, both the Bills and the Niners could not play. They were slipping. I've never seen so many people try to get up. I saw an offensive lineman get out of his stance and face plant. Like they were turning corners. Imagine you're wearing socks on a tile floor. That's how they were playing football. Like, who was it? Debo Samuel was trying to turn the corner on a route, and it was just like inching, trying to like keep his balance forward. So the only thing that worked was running the ball straight up the middle. And that's what they did. The D line both teams got pushed back so easily because they were just slipping and sliding. There's just one dude on the defensive line for the Niners that was wearing the Guardian cap, so he already looked dumb, and he face planted out of his stance like 3 separate times. And so McCaffrey, like everyone, the holes you just could not believe. If this was a regular field, I think there would have been multiple 80-yard touchdown runs. But to your point, Christian McCaffrey was on his way to a 60-plus yard touchdown run when he just got tripped up by Hamlin or something, and Doofus Dummy Dumbface broke his fall with his kneecap. I don't know if you saw the video of the injury.
Mm-mm.
It was weird because it didn't look like an injury. It just looked like he went down. He got up and like celebrated, and then immediately it was a toss to the right or an outside zone, and he took 3 steps and immediately like slid down himself. Like he took himself down, and then he immediately got his ass up and hobbled onto the sideline to never be seen again. So if you see, it's very weird because in the video of the play he slid, you can see him take a step and his whole calf do the whole reverberation like Aaron Rodgers
Oh
just
no.
snap. But they said the injury was a likely season-ending PCL injury, and they showing like the play was the previous play when he came down on his knee. So I don't know.
Wait, well, he did have Achilles tendonitis, which they said
Well, that's what I'm
like
saying. So I
could
don't.
lead to an Achilles tear.
So I don't know if it's both, if it's neither. But that was what
If
the
he's already on
official.
IR, they probably know what his injury is, and if he tore his Achilles, I think we would know that. So
But that's what I'm saying. It was very weird. Maybe like structurally, his knee, like he didn't have the strength, so it just like looked all funny and it shuddered, and
yeah,
that's what took him down. I have no idea. But to your point, a long-winded way to say Christian McCaffrey is toast, and if you had McCaffrey, you better hope you kept on to Jordan Mason. So,
yeah. And if you just want to get into what happened in our league,
well, so let this be an advisory to fantasy players out there. When you want to trade with someone, do not send trades and let them sit there, especially on game days. If that player is playing or on a Sunday, try to send them a text and line it up
yeah,
afterwards and don't let them sit on it. Because what happened is Justin was trying to trade for Christian McCaffrey and was giving up quite a few pieces, which ironically included Taysom Hill, who is now out for the year as well.
oh wow, okay,
Yeah, he tore his ACL in the game. He's done. Um, it was Rico Dowdle,
just
Juwan Jennings, and Taysom Hill for Christian McCaffrey, and it was
which
just
what's
sat. It
funny
was
enough is Christina, who I traded with, was at the game with us in FSU, and we were talking about how I kept sending her bummy trades. And the reason I sent this in is because she was like, I actually almost did the trade with you last week, the one you sent. And so I basically sent the same trade but added Taysom Hill
mm,
because she doesn't have a stud tight end. And I was like, that should do it.
yeah.
And honestly, I think either way she might have accepted it, but it just so happened that
Well, so
he went down.
the end of the story is that next thing you know, this morning in our league it says a trade has been accepted, and she
Dude,
accepted the
I
trade after like because Justin didn't get rid of the trade or nothing, so it was sitting there. So she would have gotten free players for a never to be seen again Christian McCaffrey.
dude, so I saw Christian McCaffrey PCL injury or like possible PCL injury, and I didn't really even think it was that serious because I saw possible. Anyways, I'm at work and I see a trade has been accepted. I'm like, oh hell yeah, and I see it's from Christina. I'm like, oh no, and my like, dude, my heart just dropped to the bottom of my stomach, and I was like,
I know.
no, she didn't just do that to me.
I know. And Justin texted me and said, I fucked up. And I looked at it. I was like, oh, yeah, you definitely fucked up. And then I forgot I didn't forget, but like at the beginning of the year, we said, because we didn't agree with the week 12 trade deadline, we wanted to be able to trade up until like the final playoff push.
Yeah,
We just said, as a gentleman's agreement, because the stupid app only lets it go to week 12, um, those who are out of the playoffs cannot trade with people that are in the playoffs just to mess with whatever. And Justin's lucky his dumbassery was trying to trade with someone who's confirmed out, impossible to make the playoffs. So I got to veto the trade. So
yeah,
it worked out in his favor, his dumbassery. But
yeah. It would have been. It wouldn't have killed my team, but like, it would have
you
just
would have
sucked. I
hurt
would
your
have had no
depth
depth.
a lot.
Yeah, basically, my depth would have been gone. Um, so yeah, it would have just been kind of dumb
Yeah,
because she's not even in the playoffs. I'm a contender this year. It would have sucked,
I know.
but
So
I, I'm the one who got the other. The reason that we had that in place is because I made a trade for Lamar Jackson last year and they vetoed it and made this rule now. And so it worked for me on the back end. So karma, I guess. We'll see.
I was gonna say watch Rico Dowdle and watch Jamar Chase go out and Terry McLaurin go out, and now you have to start waiver wire fodder because you benched or you traded away Juwan Jennings and Rico Dowdle. So, anyways, that's our world in football this weekend. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna finish this week still at the top. Justin right below me, number 2. If we both win next week, we will secure both buys, which is huge. So now I'm curious where the tiebreakers lie because
I'm actually curious because we might have already secured it.
yeah, I wish there was a way to like simulate me losing next in like whatever situation. Because that's all I care about is I just want to play. I just want to have to avoid week 15 for whatever reason. My matchups are terrible in week 15. So I'm basically banking on not having my team play week 15.
I actually have the opposite. All my terrible matchups are in week 15.
That's what I just said. Week 15. That's the first week
Sorry,
of play.
week 16.
Oh.
I actually have some good matchups on week 15.
No, see, week 16 is great for me. But week 17, again, is terrible. Well, so championship
either way, I won't be playing you, so I'm happy about that.
Well, that's true. Yeah, either way.
The only way you and me see each other is if we're both in the championship, which would be kind of sick. I don't think we've had that yet.
No, we have not. But Justin and I have the 2 best teams in the league anyways. So.
Yeah, I think it's
look at that.
by kind of a lot.
What do you mean?
Yeah, who would have thought? You should watch the show.
I know, right? We're just casually dominating and stomping down our friends and making them cry. So,
anyways, I wanted to ask what you thought. Was the Trevor Lawrence hit dirty or clean?
Yes. So, well,
if you hadn't seen it, Trevor Lawrence went to slide, but he kind of bit off more than he could chew, I would say. He should have slid sooner because he made it seem like he was going to go for the first down, and then he slid.
That's it right there. That's the main piece right there.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence knows where the fucking line is. The defender knows where the first down line is. And from playing football, you have these like benchmarks in your head. You don't get past here. Like, and your brain is set on that line.
You go into a primal state of mind where it's just man versus man. He's not getting past that line. I don't care what I have to do. I don't care if I break my entire body. I'm stopping him at this line.
Yeah.
So it's hard to break. It's hard in the moment to be like, oh, maybe I should.
Well, obviously,
it's really
we're not professional football players. They should be better at it than we were. But my whole thing is these quarterbacks, they're getting away with, and I've seen the clip. There's like a people defend. I mean, granted, do I think what should Aziz? I
think he could have tried.
Yeah, it was definitely deserving of a penalty. Definitely deserving of a late hit. And he the reason I think it was like slightly dirty was only the fact that like coming through with the forearms and like hitting him down, like there was an intention to punish there. But do I also think that Trevor Lawrence tried to milk that line? And see, that's my biggest thing with the whole sliding and late hit shit is quarterbacks are hurting themselves more because they're basically trying to exploit that you can't hit me. So they're trying to get every single yard they can. And what I was going to say is I've seen the snapshot of where he started his slide. Trevor Lawrence is 6'5". So yes, you can screenshot the exact second his ass drops down a split second, and he's still like 3 yards away from the first down line. But as soon as his ass hits the ground, he's on the first down marker. So technically, they're not supposed to be touched since they start the slide. But bullshit, man. I mean, I don't know. It was a dirty hit, but he put himself in that situation. So that's my final take.
Honestly, a lot of the rules that they've instated with like not hitting above, not hitting players like above the abdomen and like the hip drop tackle. Like I feel like all of these rules have actually led to more injuries. Like, look at all the Achilles tears because people are going for the legs now, and all the ACL tears because people are going for the legs now. They're not hitting people up top, and I mean, maybe that saves a few concussions, but
Well, my thing is, and I've always said this, I feel like diving forward is safer than sliding if you're going to cut it that close because you can dive and protect yourself. If you
yes,
slide, you're exposing your whole upper half and your face mask becomes a prime, like, you drop your head to shoulder pad level and helmet level. That is never made any sense to me. If you're going to
yeah.
give yourself up 5 yards, like, sure, don't hurt yourself diving forward and getting all jacked up. But if your no contact is coming and you try and slide down, why?
I think there's something about being the one who makes the contact. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, I think it's got to be somewhat logical in science with like momentum, right? Like, if you've ever, I mean, you and me both played running back to some extent. It never really hurt if you were the one who laid the hit on a defender. But
I
you and me
always
both
got
played
hurt
defense. It
playing
always hurt.
defense.
That's what I'm saying. It never really hurt as a running back to hit people or to even really get hit if you are at the same time trying to make contact.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the science
But
is
when you
behind
give
it.
yourself up and you kind of like, I don't know, either aren't expecting to get hit or you just kind of like don't initiate the contact, that's when I've always gotten blown up.
Yeah. So I just don't understand why these quarterbacks can't dive forward and protect themselves because you can dive forward and cover your head with your shoulder pads, like you can make it and you can pick your spot that you want to place the valuable parts of your body like your head.
I think
But
Josh Allen does a really good job of doing it.
well, and the best sliders I've seen and what they all have in common, they're all baseball players.
Yeah.
You seen Kyler Murray slide? That
Yeah,
dude,
he's really good at sliding.
that dude,
Patrick Mahomes too.
Patrick Mahomes. Well, he's also a little dick because he likes to milk that bullshit too. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes, like the ones that they can just like. But see, like they do it right. That's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to be able to just like slide down, pop down, like visually let everyone know, like I've given myself up.
Bro, sorry, I just thought about this. Remember fucking how Carson Wentz used to fucking dive? Do you remember that or no?
Yes, he looked like a falling giraffe as he
Bro,
was
you
trying
just
to
like
slide.
plop on his chest.
Yeah, but see, one, I was a terrible baseball player, but I'll be damned if I didn't know how to slide. I could slide like a motherfucker. It's so easy. It's a very easy skill to learn.
I don't know if I've ever tried.
Dude, so easy. You just kick your legs out in front of you.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not hard.
I, I don't know, but that got me heated because I'm so tired of one quarterbacks having all of the protections they do. I get the
Yeah.
reason that they do, but I
Yeah.
just don't like it. And not that I want quarterbacks to get hurt, but it's like, damn, you can't hit them too high. You can't hit them. You can't hit their hand. Your the defender can't hit them with their hand coming like from the top down.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna do something. Or you can't hit them. You can't grab
No,
them by the ankles in the
honestly,
pocket.
the offense, the offensive side of the ball has gotten really exciting the last couple of years. But I mean, you can see it right now. There's not a lot of defensive players that are just like superstars anymore in the eyes of like the NFL. You know what I mean? Like making the front page and being like the hyped up players. Like, um,
Well, because they banned all
it's just
hard
yeah that
hits.
that side of the ball kind of sucks now. Like I don't. Uh, one of the biggest parts I used to love about football was all the nasty hits and the grittiness and just like, dude, you see somebody get blown up, you're like, oh shit! You like get up off the couch, like that's exciting. Obviously, like defensive battles, they can be annoying, but good defense is
Yeah.
not fun to watch. I like seeing good defensive hits and dude, uh, man, what was What's the dude on the Ravens? I'm blanking right now.
Ray Lewis.
Dude, Ray Lewis. Man, Ray
Uh,
Lewis. Honestly, not even that long ago. Darius Leonard. He was really fun to watch. Um, Champ Bailey. Derwin James is still one of the good ones. He's
Yeah,
really fun
Derwin
to watch.
James is the last of the real
Yeah.
ones, in my opinion. Like as far as
Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey can't hit how he used to
well, Jalen
physically,
Ramsey is.
but
I
he used to
think
be one of those guys
I
too.
think he's the best tackling corner of all time. Like the way that, and I mean, he's one of the
Dude,
goats at the position, but he plays the run so well, and he will come up and hit you. So
dude, honestly, I almost shed a tear this past weekend because Jalen Ramsey, it was like a screen pass to Janu.
mm,
Or wait, no, they're on the same team. Whatever. It was a screen pass to Tanner Hudson.
uh,
I think it was Tanner
no,
Hudson.
no, no. They played the Packers on Thanksgiving.
Then Tucker Craft. It was like a screen pass to Tucker Craft.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen Ramsey read it perfectly, was about to hit him for like a 3 yard gain. He
Just whiffed.
just whiffed it.
Yeah.
And I was like,
He's still that dude, though. He's still that dude. I don't want to hear it.
it's just sad to watch your. Hey, honestly,
He's been playing
the
great,
fact
so
the fact that he outlived Xavier Rhodes by so many more years is quite impressive.
oh, I know.
Same draft class or
No,
within a
Xavier
year or
Rhodes was a
two.
year before, I believe. He was 1 year before. But
Still, like Xavier Rhodes hasn't been good in 4 years.
well, the fact that Jalen Ramsey is even in the conversation when he was playing college ball in 2012 is
Yeah,
kind of nuts. I mean, that was 12 years ago, and
yeah.
still playing at a high level, like a starting high level corner in the NFL is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But
What's your all right? What's your score prediction for Browns versus Broncos?
well, I was gonna get into that after. Let's do that last.
Okay. Well, then I have one more thing.
Oh, okay.
Are we? Is this? Has Lab McConkey done it? Has he broken out?
Yeah.
I think we might. I
Yeah.
think we may
100%.
be seeing the Lab McConkey breakout.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Lad's a really good player. I was a huge fan of his in the off season. I don't know if you remember me
Yeah.
talking about it, and you were like hadn't seen anything, but I'm like, dude, he's the definition of always open. So
Yeah.
my thing with him is he's just not my preferred archetype of like
Sure.
fantasy player. So he'll never be like a like gotta go target this guy for me. But he's a solid dude to have on your team for
I
sure.
think. I think if they continue in this trend in this direction with that offense where they don't have a running back right now. Gus Edwards is the running back. Terrible.
So they don't have a running back.
And
Got it.
um and they're passing it, 40, 50 times a game right now. I think if that keeps up, he's had 3 100-yard games in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And the rest have been fine. Like the other 3 weren't duds. It's like, 56, 80, 75. So, if they can keep that up, I mean, 100 yards, maybe in the future he gets better getting some touchdowns as he progresses in his career.
Yeah, I mean, and that's partly why, because I mean, you know me, I like the big-bodied
Yeah.
receivers that can beat you over the top. The only, I would say, like exception to that, like the type of player that I'm super excited to have, would have been Cooper Cup, where he's just going to PPR, he's going to volume and skill his way into being a
Yeah.
fantasy stud. But typically, I don't go for that archetype.
I
But
mean,
no,
Lad's somewhere in between though, because he's not like a small slot receiver.
he's not a
He's
slot
just
receiver. He's just
he
small.
just isn't that big either. But
I
he's
mean,
not tiny either. You know what I
I
mean? Like
I don't know if he's 6 foot a buck 80.
he's not like Tyler Lockett or like
I see him as exactly Tyler Lockett. Like that's the type of player. So
I feel like he's just a little
he's quick. He's
I think
going
he's a
to
little bigger and he's a little slower than Tyler Lockett.
he is let's
Because
see.
that's my problem is I don't think that he
Yeah,
can be a deep threat.
he's just under 6 foot, 186 pounds. So he's not a big dude, and I'm curious
Yeah.
what how big Tyler Lockett how big Tyler Lockett is. Tyler Lockett is
He's like 5'11".
5'10", 182. He's an inch shorter and 4 pounds less. So, but see, like think about that too. Like Lad McConkey had, or Tyler Lockett has had those seasons where he's like that
Yeah.
dude, and I could
Oh, for sure.
100%
Before
see.
DK Metcalf got there, in between like Doug Baldwin and Metcalf,
Yeah, bro,
he was that dude.
and he just, I don't know. It's just it's so weird because I just see the deep bombs that Tyler Lockett has had from Russell Wilson, and
Yeah.
we haven't really seen that yet from him and
See, I
Justin
think that's
Herbert.
the issues. I don't think he has Tyler Lockett's speed. I don't think he's taking the top off the defense.
I'm curious as well. While we're in the spirit of looking things up, I want to see what Tyler Lockett's 40 time is.
I want to say that McConkey ran like a
So
4.7.
4.40. I bet you McConkey's is faster. It's 4.4 even for
I think McConkey ran like a 4.5, 4.7.
4.39. So he ran
What?
a hundredth of
Okay,
a
so
second
about the same.
faster. So I don't know, man. I could see them,
So he's literally Tyler Lockett.
and I'm cool with that. Like I said, but when has Tyler Lockett ever been a second round pick in fantasy? I don't know if he ever was a second round pick. So if we're talking about a breakout for like Lad McConkey, like yeah, that's great. Make him my wide receiver 2 if he continues this upward trajectory, sure. But is
Yeah,
he going to be a top 12 guy? I don't know.
that's true. That's true.
So I think we agree for once. But all right. So since we don't have anything to recap and we've just been mumbling some fantasy and NFL nonsense, we are embarking on a journey. We're going on vacation.
Dun, 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 dun.
But see, now I need to know where you're going with that.
Dun, 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 dun.
What song is that?
Oh, honey, honey.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun. Come on, just go.
Hold on. I'm trying to think
You
of what it
spiel, and
is.
I'll do this in the background.
Whatever. All right. So, anyways, so this is what I call,
Dun,
I came
dun,
up with it. I'm
dun,
pretty proud.
dun.
Playoff
Oh, honey,
Paradise.
honey. Dun, dun,
Okay,
dun,
you're distracting me. Get the hell out of here.
dun.
So, Playoff Paradise. Justin and I both put together lineups that we would most like to have. With it, I'm sure we'll have our reasonings and whatnot, but our best lineups for the fantasy playoffs. Granted,
Over under, how many players do we have the same? I think 4.5.
4.5. I do not believe we have that many. I think you're going to be shocked at the players I do have. So, well, I don't know because I have some reasonings. Well, so I have quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex, defense. Do you have 8?
What?
Bitch.
Hey, I got 8.
I'm saying you have a normal.
Wait, no. Wait.
Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex, defense.
I had a kicker too, but
Oh, I didn't do a kicker. I don't give a
whatever.
shit about the kicker.
Whatever.
I'm
I
also
don't need it.
proposing we get rid of kickers next year in our league. So, I guess it's just part for the course for me. But anyways, we can. So okay, so is it still 4.5? You think we would have had the same kicker? See, this is the whole thing. It's like it doesn't fucking matter. You just have to catch lightning in a bottle and get someone to go down on 3rd and 5.
Not necessarily true. There's definitely years where like there's 2 or 3 kickers where if you get them, it makes your team actually better.
Yeah. Or you could
Surprisingly,
be like,
there isn't really one this year, but like Young Hoku, Jake
dropped
Elliott,
his bitch ass. Jake Elliott.
Zerline,
Well, in the past.
Evan McPherson.
Well, Daniel Carlson 2 years ago was like an actual weapon on your fantasy
Yeah,
team.
Daniel Carlson.
He was insane. But
So there's I don't know.
all right,
Anyways,
well,
fuck
you can
kickers.
go
Let's
over
get into it.
you can go over your kicker if you would like. So anyway.
Let me just take a quick look and see who I think you have the same.
All right, yeah. So I think we have
Okay, I'll say 3.
I think we have 2 the same.
I know we have 2 the same.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yes. So I'm gonna say 3.
All right. So we'll see if 3 is right. So, all right, we're gonna do it just like how we do our DraftKings lineup. We're gonna shout out on three who our quarterback to finish the year would be. Ready?
All right.
3, 2, 1. Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Fuck. Well, that's not one.
Gotcha, Mitch.
That's not one that I expected.
That's the one I expected.
Okay. So selfishly, I really wanted to go Jalen Hurts here, but he.
How many players do you have that are on your team right now? Well, don't tell me.
I was gonna say, I'm not gonna tell you.
That'll tell me how many you have.
So I really wanted to want Jalen Hurts. He's the one I started at. Looking at history of opponents, I couldn't do him because his biggest stinker of the year was against Washington, and he plays Washington again at Washington. So I'm like, bro, I can't do that. I don't remember the rest of his match. Oh, he played at.
He doesn't have a great
at
schedule.
Pittsburgh. His week 17 is great at Dallas.
Yeah.
But the week 15, 16 was tough. So I decided against it.
That's what it was for me. I was actually between Joe Burrow.
I almost did Josh Allen because
I was in between Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Baker Mayfield. Those are the three that I was considering. Lamar has a terrible schedule.
And so does Joe Burrow.
Jaden Daniels has it's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, just like.
Yeah, but I also didn't want to look like just at schedule. I also had to like consider who is
right. That's why I almost went with Josh Allen.
That's why I almost went with Josh Allen because he just I feel like it doesn't matter for him. He gets it done so many ways.
But he doesn't have a good schedule.
No, he doesn't. Either. But so yeah, Baker Mayfield, he's the QB3 on the year. He plays at LA Rams plus matchup at Dallas. Which I think the Rams is like not a bit of a trap, but like I think week 15 is going to be the worst. But he gets to play at Dallas and then against Carolina in championship week. Dallas and Carolina, he's going to torch. I know they just played.
That's why I ended up going with him was the Panthers and Dallas.
I will play devil's advocate. He had one of the worst games of the year so far this week against Carolina.
Yeah, but I think that was game script because Bucky Irving did all the work.
Right, and that's the only thing I would say might be a little bit scary is maybe they lean on the run game a little bit more. But first of all, Mike Evans is insane. And did you see that touchdown catch?
I didn't.
Insane.
I've seen like it was a thing, but I haven't seen the actual play.
Posted a one-hand Moss, and then even Adam Thielen showed him up with one-handed catches. Like honestly, it wasn't the game of the week in the late window at all, but that game was insane. Ended up in overtime. But anyways, Baker Mayfield, he's injured, but he came back into the game. He got his ankle twisted and stepped on, but I don't know. I'm in on Baker. He's the QB3, and unfortunately, he's not on my roster anymore. So, all right, RB1. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Saquon Barkley.
Okay, so we might have.
That was my other guarantee.
Well, those were not either of the players that I expected from you, so I think we might have all of the same players. So,
I hope so. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley. Obviously, he's the RB1 on the year. He plays at Pittsburgh. Don't care. At Washington. Don't care. At Dallas. Yes, please. So
yeah,
he's
last time he played Washington, he had 33 points. So
yeah,
and he's actually making a push for MVP at this point.
Yeah,
so
you could tell me
have him in there.
He played the 85 Bears all 3 weeks, and I still might have him in this lineup. Like
I would say the refrigerator who.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like Saquon, I really hope he wins the MVP. 1, to dunk on you even more for calling him washed, and 2. To have a running back win MVP. Adrian Peterson did it, and that season was special. Like, what, now 10? Yeah, it was 10 years ago. Or, sorry. Yeah, it was 2012. So, 12 years ago.
I also cannot believe how quickly they took Lamar Jackson out of the MVP race. It's like Josh Allen or Saquon. Bro, Lamar Jackson's leading all the quarterbacks in every stat possible.
But guess what?
Right now.
That's why the MVP is a stupid award because you have to win games. And they have the same record. They're 8-5. They're in a wild card team now. The Steelers overtook them. They're not like they're the Chargers are a higher seed in the
I've always thought
playoffs.
it is stupid. The Heisman is stupid too, and
Every
it should
award
be
in
whoever has
football is
the
stupid
greatest season.
because
Like
they just
if
like
somebody's
they just ride
yeah,
QB's dongs the whole freaking season. So now that I'm
well, yeah, I can't believe Derrick Henry didn't win an MVP at one point. So
yeah, because everyone knows in the NFL the MVP is a quarterback award. So unless Saquon has to keep doing the exact same thing he's done and like not have a single down game. If Saquon
that would just be to give him a chance.
if
I don't
Saquon
even think
has a
that would
game with
guarantee him.
45 rushing yards, he's done. Like he has to be
Oh
perfect
yeah,
doing it, but I hope he does, and I think he do. So, all right, well now we're 2 for 2. All right,
let's make it 3 for 3, baby.
yeah, I think we're gonna be 3 for 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Bijan Robinson.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh
Oh,
shit! No, I had Bijan.
oh,
I didn't like the Lions schedule. I
really? That's why I picked him.
I see. It's tough for me. I don't know. It's so weird. I've never felt this way, and I don't know if it's ever been this way. Maybe since Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, but when I always hate committee back situations, and Monty and Gibbs are the definition of like 50-50 split. The only
Mhm.
difference is they're just too damn good, both of them.
Okay, here's the thing. I think as we get into the winter, running backs are going to be leaned on more, and that team has no problem just winning the
Yeah,
game by giving them each 30 carries.
I know. Well, they're not gonna do that.
And he's been so good. He's running back too right now.
Yeah, he. So the one thing I will say is I know because I felt this because I lost a parlay because of it. On Thanksgiving, after Montgomery was banged up, I bet that Gibbs was going to have over 12 rushing attempts, which I thought was conservative with Montgomery,
Mhm.
who got knocked out of the last game. He had 9 to David Montgomery's 22.
Well, the issue is Montgomery wasn't banged up. He was just fine.
Well, he got knocked out of the game, went back to the locker room, and then he he had all this stuff back on to come back in, but they were destroying whoever it was. It wasn't the Jags. It was the previous week's game, and they told him it's fine. Like just you're done for the day. Um,
No, it was a down to the last play game
I'm not.
against the Bears.
No. I'm saying the week prior. I'm saying the reason I
Ah,
bet on it because he got knocked out of the previous game with an injury, the shoulder injury.
yeah.
So I thought Gibbs would get a hell of a lot more workload. And so the point I'm trying to make is Montgomery clearly wasn't 100% when he was questionable all week. They
It
still
was
gave him
against the
20.
Colts.
Yeah, they
But he had
dominated the
21
Colts.
points.
Right. I said it was I'm not talking about his fantasy performance. I'm saying going into the Thanksgiving game, he was not 100%. And
Yeah,
they
yeah,
still gave him 22 carries versus Gibbs 9. So that's the only
yeah.
thing that scares me is that the workload is possibly not there. I still think he's gonna be great. I would trade for him in a heartbeat if I could.
Right.
But if we're picking 2, possibly
Right,
3 players, um,
I saw Bijan's schedule. It's great.
yeah, Bijan's RB7. He's been absolutely on freaking fire, and
And he's actually I heard this on a different podcast today. He's one of the only it's like one of like 5 backs that have been like trending upward in snap percentage.
yeah. So Justin asked
Or
me
not
a
yeah.
while ago if I'd rather have Brees or Bijan the rest of the year, and I said it at the time, weeks and weeks ago. I wanted Brees because their schedule, they do have a juicy schedule, but I didn't expect the Jets are getting worse. Like they're literally getting
Yeah.
worse. So
Well, I think they're out of it and they know that this whole team is exploding at the end of the year.
yeah. So my answer to answer
Half
that
that team's
question
not
now
returning.
is 100% Bijan Robinson. There's no doubt in my mind.
And
I'd rather have Bijan.
he's also just been fantastic, whereas like Brees hasn't actually
And
been good.
his
He's got the
schedule.
opportunity.
Well, that's what I'm shocked that you didn't have him because he is one on your team and two he plays at Vegas, then the New York Giants at home, and then at Washington. Like at Washington is like the worst matchup of them all, but to have 2 bottom feeder defenses going against Bijan in 2 out of 3 weeks of the playoffs, I thought for sure you'd have him on there, but all right. Cool. All right. Wide receiver 1. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Terry McLaurin.
Cortland Sutton.
Damn. I like
He's
it.
got a really good schedule. And he's been great.
Yeah, I know in championship week, Denver plays the Bengals, right? Week 17.
Yeah.
And we've seen what doo-doo stain defense they have.
I mean, dude, they have to be the worst defense in the league when you have Joe Burrow in the MVP race and they're losing games.
I mean, I was gonna say if the Bengals were 8-5 and not 4-9, then he might be in the MVP race. But there's no chance now. It's not his fault.
Well, no. It's not his fault. He's putting up like 303 a game, and it's insane. He's having a historical season right now. He's right up there with Lamar, and yeah. But
well, their defense sucks. So Cortland Sutton, who's Denver's previous? I know we play Kansas City in there though. No.
Hold on. Let me see.
I'm trying to think. Just from being a Broncos fan, I gotta see what. Oh wait, is this projections? No.
Yeah, they play the Colts, the Chargers, and the Bengals.
The Colts, Chargers, Bengals. Oh, it was the Chargers. That was.
They're not like
scary.
plus matchups, but they're not bad.
Yeah, I almost added Cortland Sutton, but the Chargers have just been so locked down against everybody. Like we played. He had 53-1 in the first matchup against the Chargers. Like
honestly, now that I'm looking at him more, I feel like maybe I rushed that pick. I mean, he's not a bad option, but like
no, I mean, I'd happy, but to have him available.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I would.
I'm just saying we had
Can I change my pick?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
We had every player at our disposal. So, but anyways, let me talk about mine, which you should be happy about. I thought the two we were going to have the same as you're going to have Bijan and Terry McLaurin. Because Terry McLaurin he seems to be
he's been great,
unstoppable. And his schedule he's wide receiver 3 on the year, and then he plays at New Orleans versus Philly is bad. That's the only thing is playing Philly. Yeah. Philly is the best defense in football. They're the best defense in football. Far. And so that's terrifying. But at Atlanta in the championship game, I could see that game being a friggin' shootout. So,
oh yeah.
And New Orleans isn't scary. It's just Philly in there. But there isn't too many slam dunk elite wide receivers with an elite schedule. And it doesn't seem to freaking matter. He's on fire.
Yeah, it's been a weird season. It's been weird to have him as a fantasy manager because he's just such a big play guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a lot of just peppering. Like he doesn't get a lot of the short yardage. But when the team needs him to do something, he's there and Jaden Daniels looks for him. And it seems like even if I think he had a game where he had 19 yards this season.
Yeah.
But he had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was against the Giants.
So it's like it's almost
targets.
like he's unstoppable. Like it doesn't matter if he has the low yardage game. It doesn't matter if he has no touchdowns. Either way, he's good.
Yeah, the most targets he's had on the year was 10. And it was in the very beginning of the year. I would say if I had averaged these out, he would have 7 targets a game, which
Jaden Daniels also isn't throwing the ball that much.
Right. But that's what
I'm saying. So
that's
part of it.
Like I don't even know if he averages 7 targets a game from the current wide receiver 3. That's kind of crazy. Like those numbers, you'd probably need to average closer to double-digit targets to get there. But he is a big play machine. Jaden Daniels is a big play quarterback. Like it's just been working. So he has a bye right before the playoffs start. Get as healthy as you can. So we will.
I'm excited to have him on my team, but yeah.
All right, wide receiver 2. Sorry, we currently only have 2 the same.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little. Well, yeah. Okay, ready?
Yep. 3, 2, 1. AJ Brown.
Nico Collins.
See, I really wanted it to be Nico, and Nico was almost in this conversation for me, similar to how Terry McLaurin was, where it's like I don't really
Yeah.
care, but I trust Jaden Daniels more, which is kind of crazy to say, than CJ Stroud right now. And
I mean, that's not crazy to say. CJ Stroud has had his sophomore year slump.
Um, just
The only reason I didn't go with
the
AJ Brown
schedule
was
is
because
not good for Nico. At Miami or Miami at home is tough, and then they go at Kansas City. Granted, he does get Baltimore Swiss cheese defense in championship week,
yeah.
but Miami
Well,
has been shutting down wide receivers, and then Kansas City. I just prefer not to mess around at Kansas City week 16, or
yeah, it
who
could be a
knows?
snow
Maybe
game
they
too.
bench their starters in week 16. They've already we're only at week going into week 14, and they've already clinched a playoff spot.
They have one loss. It's insane. I don't understand how they keep getting away with this.
The Breaking Bad Jesse meme.
How do they keep getting away with this?
It's disgusting. Anyways, so yeah, so that's the reason why I didn't go Nico is because I know Miami's been tough and at Kansas City, but again, is he in that
Yeah,
same
he's
category
just
as
been,
Terry McLaurin, where
dude.
it's like it doesn't matter?
I think he is, man. Since he's been back, he's been incredible. I think his lowest yardage is what, 85?
Um, let's see. Let's see when Nico Collins came back. He had 54, 92, 119. So he had an average game when he came back against Dallas. Remember that
Yeah.
was one that was kind of weird. And then 92 and 1, and then 119 yards against Jacksonville. Granted,
Yeah,
those are two not great passing defenses, but Nico is that dude. So
it's tough because I feel like he really is not. I mean, look, he versus the Bears, which I would say is similar to the Dolphins. He had 8 for 135 and 1.
oh yeah, like
And then you go against the Bills, who are up there as well. He had 78 and 1. So it's like, it's tough. He's a touchdown machine, first of all. He's one of those guys.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
And he also gets 11 targets a game. And yeah,
he's just damn good. And
I like both of our
apologize
picks.
for my
So
disrespect. Well, yeah, I mean AJ Brown, he's
obviously, any of these picks are
right.
going to be good.
Like you're going to be
I mean,
starting them.
yeah.
But the challenge here was to pick the best. Like,
And I don't know if you know this yet.
what?
We are going to put these lineups in FanDuel, and we're going to see who gets the most points through the playoffs.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be a good time. So we'll have to come back, revisit that at the end of the year, and see whose
Although,
playoff paradise was more paradise. You know what I'm
might have
saying?
to increase the budget somehow.
Oh yeah, because we can't afford this team.
No. We'll see. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I think that'd be really fun to see.
Yeah, that would be cool. So, yeah, AJ Brown, he's wide receiver 12 in the year, missed some time. He is a walking 60-yard touchdown dude. And I watched the game yesterday. He only finished with 66 yards. But I don't know a comp of a player like him that he can play the middle of the field so well and break tackles like he does.
Him and DK Metcalf are like identical players. Just one has Geno Smith, one has Jalen Hurts, I think.
And maybe you knew this. I don't know if you did. But you do know that they both played together on the same college
team.
Ole
Miss.
Yeah. Florida State whooped their ass. Florida State beat that team with A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf. But yeah, it's insane. He's a beast. I was telling Maria this as we were watching the game. I was like, I love watching him play for fantasy because did you know he wears like pink neon cleats, yellow neon cleats, like neon colored cleats every week. So his daughter knows like who her dad is on the field. And I'm like,
that's cool.
I am daughter in this situation because I love knowing where A.J. Brown is on the field.
Dude, honestly, it is really nice when you have a wide receiver there. Like, he has a distinct feature about him. You're like, it's my guy.
I've been watching the Commanders. Why does Zacchaeus and Terry McLaurin look like the
Yeah,
exact
dude,
same
it's
player.
dude, it's very hard with Terry McLaurin.
It's so frustrating because I don't know why I care so much about Terry McLaurin, but I know every time I'm watching that game, I
Yeah,
think it's McLaurin and it's stupid Zacchaeus or Noah Brown. They all look the same. So
dude, Roma Dunze and DJ Moore too.
no, see, I can
Every
point
time I
out
watch that game, I'm
DJ
like,
Moore.
oh my god.
DJ Moore is like shorter and stockier than Roma Dunze,
Yeah,
but yeah. So that was just something I always pointed out. But yeah, he a beast. He plays home against Pittsburgh. I'm not scared of Pittsburgh's passing defense anymore. They after what they did and gave up that many points to, um,
I don't know. They're wishy washy.
right, and then they play at Washington, which again I said is like was Jalen Hurts' worst game of the year. So that's not super encouraging. But then again, at home versus
This has
Dallas,
no factual or scientific basis, but I will say, typically with division games, it does seem like it's one game is a
oh,
dogfight and then one game's a shootout. It always is,
so
man.
we already got the
So hopefully we're gonna get
dogfight
the
up.
shootout
Oh well, oh never mind. Because
because
they
that was
play
also the worst game for Terry McLaurin and Jane Daniels as well as Eagles.
yeah. I think yeah that was the Saquon takeoff game. Well, name
Yeah.
pick your takeoff game. But all right, tight end. 3,
All right,
2, 1. Trey McBride.
Brock Bowers.
I figured. I figured we would have.
Wow, I can't believe you
someone.
went Trey McBride.
The Trey McBride's schedule is insane. It's at home versus New England, at Carolina, and then at the Rams, who are dog shit against tight ends.
Yeah,
So he's got green on green on green coming up.
I believe
And
Brock Bowers does as well. I mean,
um,
Brock Bowers plays the Falcons, the Jags, and the Saints. The Saints isn't like great, but they're not a plus matchup against tight ends. And then you got Jags and Falcons. That's great.
yeah, it'll be close. They're both. I think
Yeah.
they're the number one and number 2 tight ends the rest of the year.
Oh yeah.
Um, I just think that at Carolina matchup, week 16, for whatever reason, I have a tingling in my head that that's the game he finally scores a touchdown, and he might get 2.
I looked at Trey McBride. The only reason that I would, it really wasn't even biased. Obviously, like he's been the best tight end, and that's kind of why I picked him. He's already been the best tight end.
Yeah.
And he has plus matchups. And he is the focal point of that offense. Like, there's no James Conner or Marvin Harrison that's going to take over the game for them. There's no vulturing of touchdowns. Like, I just think that he is their offense. So,
Do you know what's crazy? The past 2 weeks, Trey McBride had 12 targets, 12 receptions. He's had 12 receptions in the past 2 weeks each game.
who?
Trey McBride. 12
Oh, wow, I didn't
receptions.
know that.
He went 12 for 12, and then the previous week he went 15 for 12. And then when they dominated the Jets, he had caught 4 or 5 for 71 yards when he hurdled 3 dudes.
Yeah. He's definitely been getting cooking. And honestly, my prediction for Marvin Harrison being a top, 15 or top 10 or whatever wide receiver rest season was because they had such a plus matchup. So that kind of goes for Trey McBride as well. So, like, obviously,
But
I think
specifically for tight ends, the Rams are terrible for whatever reason. And so I'm like, you give him a matchup
because they have no
at home
linebackers.
versus New England, at Carolina, and then the Rams. Maybe it's wishful thinking. Maybe he'll carry me because my running backs have.
Hey, it could come down to Trey McBride, Brock Bowers. So
I have a pretty good feeling it might, unless our teams have catastrophic failures.
I mean, we're at the point now with our teams where it's like we built the best roster we can, and all we can do is kind of
let it
hope.
ride. I know.
So.
All right, final skill position, flex. So I'm curious if we even have a running back or receiver here. So 3, 2, 1, Alvin Kamara.
Bijan Robinson.
I knew you were gonna have him down there.
Yeah.
You didn't fight me on like how you didn't have him there.
Yeah.
So I knew he was gonna be down there. But
Yes, we have three the same, I guess.
okay, yeah. Well. What
Well,
about
see,
his
I thought
defense?
Bowers was a lock. I thought you would for sure have Bowers. So that's where I thought Saquon and Bowers were the for sure locks.
It
I
wasn't
thought Baker
until
Mayfield would be close.
yeah, it wasn't until I saw McBride's schedule. I mean,
Yeah.
Bowers is his schedule is great too. So
I will be truthful here. I didn't even really look at the other schedules for tight ends. I was just like, that's
that's the kind of way I went. I started with Trey
Yeah.
McBride, and I saw, oh, that's juicy as hell. So we'll see. I really hope it comes. Watch like our final matchup. Like we're playing in the championship, and it's just like Trey McBride, Brock Bowers.
It's like Monday Night
160.
Football,
Yeah,
and it's like Cardinals, Raiders.
I know, and
Well, it's
it's
not,
like
but
160 yards and 2 touchdowns for each of them, and they're just like throwing haymakers back and forth. That would be so amazing. But
I would love to even just us two make the championship. That'd be sick.
I know. Oh God, I would write letters to whatever player. I'd donate to their charity, all kinds of shit if they win me that matchup in the championship game. But yeah, so we talked about Bijan, but Alvin Kamara, he's an RB5.
He was very close to making my list.
I just refuse
Honestly,
to believe.
also honorable mention Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon's
But his
schedule is
schedule
bad.
He was one of those players though where I was almost like, I don't care. But his schedule's like atrocious. It's not even like bad. It's like red.
Yeah, it's really bad. I almost traded him, even though he's been insane, purely because of the schedule. Because Joe Mixon has been good, and I could have gotten Kamara. And maybe I threw another piece,
sure.
you know what I'm saying, for someone with a better schedule. But I was like, imagine how much I would hate myself if I traded away the guy who's averaging 23 points a game. Oh, because his schedule is hard. And I lose, and shit happens. So I was
It's
like,
been the same for me with Ja'Marr Chase. Because week 16, Ja'Marr Chase was close to making this list too. But week 16, he's got Passer 10.
No, it's championship week. It's week 17.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's week 16.
No.
Because week 15.
Wait. No, it's 17. It's week 17.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Passer 10 and championship.
Well, I guess he'll get me to the game.
So here's the thing. But you and me, championship game. You benching Ja'Marr Chase?
Do I bench Ja'Marr Chase? No, I don't think I would.
I don't know if you can. Because, like, even then, imagine he gets, 40 yards and a touchdown. Like, that's a down game for Ja'Marr Chase. But, you get you your 10 points.
He has been really good this year. I don't know if you've, even paid attention. Yeah. I think he's on an irrelevant team. He's been better than Ja'Marr Chase when he's played.
Shade to Joe.
Huh?
You said you think he's on an irrelevant team, but I was like, well, shade to Joe.
Well, he doesn't start him or whatever.
Well, he didn't start.
He's on the bench of the team.
He should have.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pat Surtain goes after him though. Nah. He is the outside receiver.
I don't know. For Denver's sake, I hope he does get shut down, but I would laugh my ass off if either way, if you're in the championship game and it's a.
I'm going to be honest, though. If I make the championship game, my work is done.
Well, I mean.
At that point, I'm happy to be here.
Well, because, who.
Obviously, I want to win a title, but it's it comes down to luck. Once you get in the playoffs, making the playoffs, I wouldn't say is luck. It takes, paying attention more so.
The playoffs just has a ton of luck. I mean, there's things you can do.
Once you get in the playoffs, it is what it is.
Yeah, I say once you playoff prep your team, prior to the playoffs, if you've done your job, then it's let Jesus take the wheel. Because think about it. You're not benching him for Calvin Ridley. You're not benching him for Juwan Jennings. You're not benching him for Jonathan Brooks or Stevenson and Ramondre Stevenson in the flex. You're just not doing that. Which also, shout out Jonathan Brooks. Did you watch him at all?
No, I really wanted to see him, but
Thanks to
I
Little
don't think I
Caesar's
did.
large custom two-topping pizza for only
He
$5.99.
had
Every
I know he
day
had
is
an
now
18
Black
yard
Friday.
reception.
Take that calendar sign.
But he looked good. He didn't get a ton of opportunity, and the Bucks shut down Chuba Hubbard as well.
Yeah.
But all right, let's finish this out. Defense. You did defense, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. 3,
This is for all the marbles here.
2, 1. Bills.
Bengals.
Did you just say
Bills.
Bengals?
Yeah.
Bro. Gross.
They haven't been the best, but they have incredible, like, green.
Yeah, but I don't care. Their defense has been doo-doo stained. Let's see. Listen, so this is my philosophy. Like, granted, I typically normally go with the worst matchups with defense, like kind of throw the actual defense to the wind. But when you're talking about in the playoffs, you need a defense that can guarantee you that they're not going to get 2 points and get into a shootout.
Here's the thing: is in matchups where they have played like green or plus matchups, they've been pretty good. They had 10 points against the Giants, 17 versus the Browns, 13 versus the Raiders. They've just played a lot of really good teams this season, to be honest with you.
All right. So who's their playoff matchup?
They have Titans, Browns, Broncos.
I mean, the Broncos been putting up points.
Which the Broncos is like obviously the glaring thing,
But see,
but
like,
also like the Broncos, they don't make a lot of mistakes, but they don't put up a lot of points. So it's kind of like you just kind of hope and pray that they don't put up that many points because you know they're not going to make mistakes.
But even then, I don't want, like, Denver could put up 24 points. That's within that range of outcomes.
For sure.
And granted, like, the Bills, I'll get into the Bills in a second, but, like, Jameis also with the Browns has the potential, like, you could have a Jameis game, and all of a sudden Jameis
Well, yeah, but Jameis could
crazy.
also throw 3 picks.
That's true. I mean, I'm starting Denver's defense tonight in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't need them because I'm already winning. Suck it, Joe. But, and then who was the first one? Oh, the Titans? Yeah, I'm in on the top. But, like, I don't know, man. It's just, yes, like, pick sixes all day from Will Levis. Like, I get it. But, like, to start a bad defense is, like, scary to me.
See, I tried to do your method, but there's not a good defense that has a good playoff schedule.
There is, and it's the Bills. Granted, I will say, this was for me, and it's also why I picked them up 2 weeks ago, and I dropped Tank Dell because there was no chance I was going to start him the rest of the year. Because the Bills play when I'm going to be on my bye week. They play at Detroit, so I'm not like that's terrible.
Yeah.
But after that, at home versus New England and at home versus the Jets.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. I looked at the Bills.
The Bills.
The Bills were on my list, but Detroit knocked them out immediately because this isn't for us. This is for everybody.
I know.
And if you can't make it past the first round of the playoffs, then.
But I also think that
if they've got -3 points against.
But see, I don't think that's possible. I think that the Bills' defense is actually really damn good. So, will they get maybe 6 points? I know, but I'm.
The Bears' defense is pretty good too, and they just fucking laid 28 on them.
I'm just saying, I think if you had to take it with its lumps, I'm taking the Bills' defense because, say you make it out of that first week at home versus New England and at home versus the Jets. The Jets have been falling apart. New England is New England, and plus, again, the Bills have an elite defense. Like, yeah I know.
No, I was looking at the Bills. I was looking at the Bills. I was looking at the Eagles. The Eagles matchup is terrible for their defense, so I didn't go with them. And then the Bills, I saw Lions ruled them out, and then the Bengals was next for me. But
yeah, so we'll see. Like, you definitely have a better overall. Like, the Lions definitely moves the needle quite a bit. But the
Yeah.
second round and final round, I'm in on those, especially they're at home. That was a big deal for me when I was looking at where the defenses were playing. But again, at Detroit, that really sucks.
Yeah.
But I'll be curious if we punch this into the FanDuel lineup and see
Yeah.
how the
I
rest
want
of
to
this
see.
goes. But
I think I should be able to figure out how to do that. So.
all right, team. Now
All
let's
right, I
get
think
into this
that's-
Monday night game.
Oh yeah.
But
I don't know. What do you think about it? I think. Is there any weather issues? What's happening? What's happening right now?
it's
Just
boo
necessary.
time. I just wanted to show off my new Christmas presents. I got a new shirt and I got a Broncos
Oh,
hat.
what do you mean Christmas present? You guys are already opening presents?
Well, she wanted me to. Maria and I are going on a cruise, and
It's December 2nd.
yeah, I know. But we're going on a cruise next week. She wanted me to have the hat for the cruise, and the Broncos played tonight, so
Okay.
she gave me early Christmas presents. So this is what I think about the game tonight. I'm ready. I'm locked and loaded.
All right, so Kyle's going to be a little biased, I think.
I said you can't bet with your heart, bro.
Kyle's going to be like, yeah, Broncos 57-2.
No. I will be damned if my baby boy Bo is giving up a safety. Psh, the fuck? No.
Why doesn't it have to be Bo?
So
You don't think he can walk out the back of the end zone?
he's about to walk up your ass. You keep talking craziness out here. No.
Well, I think the Browns are going to win. No, I'm just kidding.
I think Denver wins. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people imagine. We're missing Riley Moss on defense, our corner number 2, and Jameis can wheel and deal. So unless the defense can come up with those turnovers, which they can,
I also think Pat Surtain doesn't necessarily matter. As far as like, there's no number one to lock down. Like
Fair.
it's like any
I thought you
given
were saying
week,
in
it's either
general.
Judy or Tillman or no. I'm just saying like as far as locking down your number one, there is no number one.
Yeah.
So it's like Jameis has proven he can do it. With
I think
anyone.
Tillman's out. So this
Oh, yeah,
Jerry
that could help.
Judy revenge game. Oh, I would love to stamp that dude in the ground. Pastor Tan, Jerry Judy. Oh, this is gonna be cinema. Get me the hell out of here. I got a game to watch. But no,
Yeah.
when you were saying it didn't
could go
matter, I
bad
was
for you,
like,
though.
I was thinking about it, and imagine. So this is like a similar situation. Talking about if corners are like valuable and like worth the money, whatever. Think about having your opponent's best receiver out. Think they missed the game. Like that's what a lockdown corner gives you. Think about how much you would rather, like how much of an advantage that would be to have.
Okay.
I'm saying like for the best.
Don't take
of the
any
best.
offense to this. If we're talking to Darrell Revis, sure. Deion Sanders, yeah.
Okay, whatever, man.
I don't think Pat Surtain is on that
Pat
level.
Surtain threw 12 games and he missed a game. Okay, so he missed a game, but he has only allowed 177 receiving yards total on the year.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think that if you put a A.J. Brown, if you put a Jamar Chase, if you put a Justin Jefferson, I think that those players are good enough to not make him a lockdown corner.
I'm about to prove you so wrong.
I would be curious how many top options he's faced this year.
This was
Because I will say, in your division, who you play 2 games, there's not one.
well, the first one that comes to my
So,
mind.
right there, you're talking about 6 games. There is no top option.
Oh wait, I know. I need. Boo. I can't find it. But Garrett Wilson shut down. Mike Evans shut down. Who else we played?
Okay, Garrett Wilson, I mean,
Damn it.
Yeah, dude. So look at this list. I mean,
I don't have the
dude, you
stats in
haven't
front of
even
me. I have the
played, dude.
tweets. I like the tweets
Okay.
because
No. Look at this list.
yeah.
The only receiver that I'll give you is Mike Evans on the entire year so far.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'll give you Drake London too, but the Falcons also just haven't been good. So, but
What do you? Nah, that game was a total domination. So
bro, what I'm saying, no, but what I'm saying is There's no Jamar Chase, there's no Justin Jefferson, there's no AJ Brown. I don't know. I'm kind of blanking on the other, top
I know,
receivers, but
me too.
I mean, you guys haven't really played them.
I'm just saying. You'll see tonight, and you'll see throughout the playoffs, and you'll see when Jamar Chase inevitably loses you your championship against me because he finishes 3 for 32. So,
Nah,
without
bro.
further ado,
Michael Pittman, Lab McConkey, and Jamar Chase. They gonna eat.
nah. Well, that was a fun
All right,
show.
what's your score prediction?
I think it's going to be 27-17 Denver.
Oh, that's pretty close to mine. I have 24-13.
24-13.
Broncos.
Yeah. Moving into playoffs, baby. Oh, and my computer is dying. I have to quit this.
Although I should definitely be rooting for your downfall because
Yes, you should.
the Colts actually are fighting with you guys. We're a game or 2 games back, I think, but
2 games with 4 games to
or
go.
1 game now, I think.
Well, depending
Since
on the
we
result
won.
of this. If we lose, you'll be 1 game back. But
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's go watch some football, baby. I'm all set.
Let's go.
You done?
Yep. Ready
All
to
right.
fucking pub sub and watch football.
I know. I got to make some dinner. Maria's probably like, I'm hungry. Which I'm actually starving too. So, as always, like the video, subscribe, and go Broncos.
Yeah.